Adam and Eve. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and on the sixth day he created Adam, the first man, from the dust of the ground. God breathed into Adam's nostrils the breath of life, and Adam became a living soul. God placed Adam in the Garden of Eden, a paradise on earth filled with beautiful trees, sparkling rivers, and vibrant flowers. Adam's task was to dress and keep the garden, and God commanded him not to eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. One day God said, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him." And God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and while he slept, God took one of his ribs and made a woman, Eve. When Adam woke up, he saw Eve standing before him, and he was immediately drawn to her. "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh," Adam exclaimed. "She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man." Adam and Eve lived happily in the Garden of Eden, enjoying each other's company and the beauty of their surroundings. They were both naked, but they were not ashamed. One day, while they were walking in the garden, the serpent, who was more subtle than any beast of the field, approached Eve. "Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden?" the serpent asked. Eve replied, "We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die." The serpent sneered at Eve's words. "Ye shall not surely die," he said, "for God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil." Eve was tempted by the serpent's words, and she looked at the tree with new-found desire. She took of the fruit and ate, and then she gave some to Adam, who also ate. As soon as they ate the fruit, Adam and Eve's eyes were opened, and they knew that they were naked. They sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons, but they were still ashamed. When God came to walk in the garden in the cool of the day, Adam and Eve hid themselves from his presence. But God called out to Adam, "Where art thou?" "Where art thou?" Adam replied, "I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself." God asked Adam, "Who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat?" Adam blamed Eve, saying, "The woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat." God then turned to Eve and asked, "What is this that thou hast done?" Eve replied, "The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat." God cursed the serpent, saying, "Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life." God also punished Adam and Eve, saying to Adam, "Because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, Thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake, in sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life." To Eve God said, "I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee." And so Adam and Eve were expelled from the Garden of Eden, but God still showed them mercy and provided for them. He made coats of skins for them and clothed them, and he promised to send a Saviour to redeem them from their sin. As they left the garden, Adam turned to Eve and said, "You are my wife, my partner, and my best friend. I love you, and I promise to always be there for you." Eve smiled and replied, "I love you too, Adam. We may have made a mistake, but we can start anew. We can build a new life together, and we can always trust in God's love and mercy." The lights began to dissipate, giving way to a shuddering pool.